Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Wine by the Bay TV. I'm your host, George Bachara. Today we're brought to you by the Goosehead Insurance Agency, the Bachara Agency. That's me. So I'm going to lecture you again. I don't like doing it, but that's just the way it has to be. Because I'm talking to you for your own good, okay? Many people tell me, I don't want life insurance. Why don't you talk about auto? Why don't you talk about home? Everybody has to have that. Well, that's why I don't talk about it, because everybody has to have it. You probably already do have it. Then it's a matter of coverage and price. And I feel like you guys are smart enough to know what's good for you and what isn't, as long as it's explained to you. So if you have a good agent that explains your insurance to you, by all means, feel free to keep them. If you don't, and they just sell you whatever they got, then you should contact me down in the description box below. However, life insurance is very, very important. I know you have life insurance at work. Well, maybe I don't know that you have it, but a lot of you do. Okay? What happens if you leave? Oh, I can buy my insurance. Yeah, that's true. But maybe you got it when you're 25 and now you're 35 and now it's more expensive. And now it's a term policy rather than whole life. So these are complicated issues that I can't get into in 20 or 30 seconds. Go down to the description box, follow the link, contact me, call me, whatever you have to do, and let's just talk about it. It's free, okay? So do yourself a favor and think about this subject. I know it stinks. Nobody likes to think about life and death, but there's more to it than just dying. So let's protect you. Let's protect your family while you're alive, and then eventually, when everybody dies. Okay, that's it. That's depressing. There's a lot of depressing stuff going on, so we're going to go into wine. I have my camera person here today, Megan, my lovely wife, who will be off camera, and probably the peanut gallery today, but that's all right. I need the peanut gallery because, frankly, I'm too full of myself. And there's the peanut gallery right there. So if you saw last week's episode, and why wouldn't you have? They were pearls of wisdom every time I talk. We reviewed that Louis Martini, the Cabernet from Sonoma, and I told you it wasn't worth it. And I also told you if I could find the Cabernet from Napa, I would go ahead and do that and do a review this week of that. So what I did was I went Napa with Duckhorn Chardonnay and the Louis Martini Cabernet. Two wines that, a lot of people know. They're on a lot of wine lists. So I thought, we'd kind of keep it in the same vein today. Everything's been open 2 hours. The Chardonnay is a little bit cooler than the Cab, but they're both not warm, obviously. You don't want to over warm or over cool either wines. So we're going to get right into them. We'll start with the Duckhorn Chardonnay. This one I paid $24.99 at Total Wine for. Okay, it's a 2019 from Napa, 14.5 alcohol by volume. Okay, and as we said, Napa Valley. Oh, wait a minute. This is mislabeled. This is actually a 2020. I was bamboozled, ladies and gentlemen. The label said 19, and I got a 20. Okay, that's not right. So if there's a lesson to be learned, always ask if the vintages are correct on a wine list, and if you're buying them in a store, double check the label.
And wear your glasses.
This was not about glasses, just so you know. Mm-hmm. This was about my lack of attention to detail, which tends to happen when I'm shopping. So I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 2020. Either way, it's $24.99, 14.5 alcohol by volume, 91 points from wine.com. I have my doubts. So, Duckhorn is a very famous producer, as we know. More for the reds than the whites, but there's a lot of Chardonnay out there. Well, right away, it's kind of a golden color, like a darker golden. All right. There's definitely a little pineapple on this. Maybe some peach, a little. Yeah, I would say some peaches and cream maybe, but just a little bit of cream. More of the peach and the pineapple coming out. I can kind of get a little bit of alcohol in the nose. It kind of burns just a hair. Burn is too strong a word, but it kind of warms the tip of my nose a little bit. So the 14.5 alcohol is probably the reason why it does. That's very high. Again, we're finding some Chardonnays with some very high alcohol, which is not the worst thing in the world because then it's not too flabby and buttery. But, you know, I'm a little surprised. 14.5 is a little aggressive. So let's see what we got over here. I'm gonna taste it this time. Yeah, I mean, definitely pineapple and peach. The cream was there before, but I'm not really feeling it now. So let's give it a taste. It has a little bit of acid. That alcohol is there too, kind of warming my throat a little bit. And it kind of crowded out the fruit flavors that I got on the nose. But this is my first taste of wine, so that might have something to do with it. I'm going to give it another shot. It has a reasonable finish, but if you remember last week and probably the week before, the finishes were really long on those last two white wines. This is not quite as long. I mean, it's definitely got some acidity and some alcohol that's sticking around, but the other flavors like the peach and the pineapple, the little tropical action, that's not really happening right now. So let's try it again. Now there's a little bit of pineapple coming through. If I really had to reach, I would say it's kind of like, did you ever have like a pineapple birthday cake? Mm-hmm. Not the cream, but the pineapple and a little bit of the cake flavor. Mm-hmm. Very little bit of the cake flavor is in there. Not a whole lot. Why don't you reach your little hand in here and see what you think.
Yeah, it's a little tart too.
I'm starting to get a little spice now. Mm-hmm. You know, not like a pepper spice, but like a, well, maybe a little bit of white pepper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a little white pepper. And now red pepper around my gums. Now that the wine is warming up a little bit, that pepper flavor is coming out. That's probably from the oak barrels. You would think.
Yeah.
Not as much cream. Yeah, definitely the pepper's coming out. Are you getting the pineapple still or no?
Yeah, a little bit of the pineapple.
Yeah, but that pepper's now coming forward. Okay, so interesting.
Do you like it?
Well,
for a Chardonnay.
Let's be honest.
I know you don't like Chardonnay.
I'm not overly impressed with it. It's not bad. It's very predictable. The pepper was a little bit more than is a little unpredictable, but I wouldn't go so far as to say I would want to drink this wine. Some of the other Chardonnays we've had have surprised me with their flavor profile. They're a little bit lighter, a little bit more weight on the palate. This one does not really coat my tongue, excuse me, as much. So I would say this one is okay, 89 plus points. 89 plus, not too bad. Duckhorn, 2020. All right. One of these days, I'm going to discuss this wine ass trophy with you. It's not going to be today because this one's going to be a reasonably short video. But one of these days, we're going to get to it. Okay, now we're moving in for the kill. My pseudo frenemy from last week. This is the Louis Martini. Let's check the year and make sure I got it right. 2018 Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley. Okay. I don't know if you can see the label or not. This one is 15% alcohol by volume, 93 points, James Suckling. $40, so $39.99 at Total Wine. This one had a little bit later vintage, like it was harvested a little bit later because that's just kind of how 2018 went. They sat in 16 months in a combination of French oak and American oak. So I'm expecting that we're going to get a little bit of creaminess, a little bit of spice under there, maybe some cocoa flavors. We'll see. I mean, I wonder. I was very disappointed by the Sonoma. So we're going to try something new here before I get into this wine. I've been meaning to do this for a while. I'm going to ask you a question with every episode, and I'm going to have you comment below in the comment section, and keep the comments clean if you don't mind. I know I have kind of a foul mouth, but you know this is a public forum, so try and keep your decorum if you can. And the question of the week is going to be: would you rather experiment with a wine that you don't know, or pick something from the list that you do know when you go out to dinner? Obviously, at home it's a little bit of a different experience. But when you're out, the prices are a little higher, and I'm curious, would you like to be more adventurous, or would you want to make sure that you have something that you know is going to pair well with your meal and going to help you enjoy that meal? So like I said, leave the comments below in the comments section, and I'll try to answer them as they come in, if they're interesting. If they're not interesting, I will ignore you. I mean, frankly, that's just the way it's going to go. So, back to the Louis Martini. This one is darker than the Sonoma, which is not really a surprise. It's not like super black. It's like a reddish black, obviously, like more of that dark garnet, rich garnet color. I'm kind of glad to see that. Truth be told, I'm not a big Sonoma Cab fan either. Again, too light, too smooth, a little too silky. I mean, when you get up in price at that $100, $150 range, then you're starting to get some complexity as well, and that's when you can kind of interest me. But at around $25 to $45, the Sonoma Cab, 9 times out of 10 is not really my game here. So, but this is a Napa Cab, so we're gonna give this a little sniff and see where we're at. That's got a little pepper on the nose, but it's a little tight. So we're gonna try a little experiment and see if Alex lied to us or not a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna circle this. No, he wasn't lying. That worked. Mm-hmm. Got a lot of stem now. A lot of green stem. Not much fruit. Very little fruit on the nose. Yeah, definitely getting some spice in there from the oak. So that's probably the French oak. French oak tends to be more spicy. The vanilla flavor is more the American oak thing. So let's see what we got going on. Definitely better than the Sonoma. You are getting a little stem, but very little. I mean, the tannins don't really grip, but you feel them. The alcohol is right on the gums, kind of drying my mouth out. There might be a little black tea in there, which I know is kind of weird for Cabernet, but there's a little bit. I guess that's the tannin. The tannins are super light. They're not gripping my tongue. They're kind of hitting me in the front of my mouth, and then it's kind of going away. Let's give it another try. Let's see what we got in here. I'm kind of getting... There's no chocolate. There definitely is. Well...
Any smoke?
Now there's a little bit of chocolate. Now there's a little bit of mocha. Just a little bit. Here, taste this.
Any smoky?
No, I don't think it's very smoky. No, it's not smoky. Maybe a little blackberry, mulberry, no blueberry for sure. But again, when I say blackberry, it's not like a very fresh blackberry. It's just like a little, maybe like a blackberry reduction. So it's not sweet. It's not fresh. It's kind of like a cooked blackberry. not a blackberry jam, which would be very sweet. More of a, like I say, more of a reduction. Something that might have some alcohol in it. Like if you were to make a blackberry coulis in a pan to put over ice cream, like maybe something like that. A little bit of sweetness, definitely cooked, not super fresh. In fact, I just had a blackberry this morning, and it doesn't taste like a fresh blackberry.
It's almost leathery a little.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know you don't like to call things.
No. It's not that I don't like to call them leathery. I mean, when it's appropriate. I didn't smell any leather on the nose. Yeah, I guess kind of a little.
It does coat your tongue.
No, it's lingering, but it doesn't have a whole lot of body to it. I'd say this is a medium body cab, but not like a light medium like the Sonoma. This is like a full medium. It definitely gets to your tongue, but it's not sitting on there. It's not like coating it.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
Yeah, it's just kind of a nice finish though.
Yeah, it has a decent finish. I'm still tasting it. Yeah, I mean, okay. This is definitely not the Sonoma.
Right.
Definitely not. Like this one is going to cost you more in a restaurant. This one was $39.99, so $40. I think the other one was like $34 or $35. Yeah. I don't remember, but it's somewhere in that neighborhood. Even if it's $29, like $30, I would pay 10% more and go Napa.
Yeah.
For sure.
For more of the fullness. This
just tastes like a better wine. I mean, the other one was like way overpriced, in my opinion. But this is not 93 points either, which is what James Suckling gave it. I would say 91 plus. Solid. Good offering. Not a waste of money. I mean, you can do better. Again, at this price point, there are better options. But this is going to be on the wine list a lot. Yeah. So is this Duckhorn. You're going to see a lot of both of these wines. So if you're out to dinner and you're not sure what to choose, if you're kind of between something you don't know and something you do know, and you don't want to take a chance, I would go with the Louis Martini. I don't know if I'd go with the Duckhorn. I'd probably just skip the white course altogether, to be quite honest with you. Maybe do a little champagne instead. If you had to have something white, then at least, the bubbles kind of mask a little bit of that. You're not as critical. So I would say the Louis Martini Cab is a screaming success compared to its brother, the Sonoma, which is not good.
Not as good. Not
good for the price. Yeah. It's not offensive. It's just not good. But this is actually pretty decent. Again, I wouldn't go 93. I mean, that's just, again, that 93 is a serious score. Like $100 bottles get a 93 point like score on them. So I'm not doing that. That's 91 plus, maybe 91 solid. 91 solid. 91 plus is too much. 91 solid, drinkable, decent wine. Not offensive for sure. This Duckhorn, again, it's not offensive, but
you can find better.
I wouldn't drink Chardonnay if it was going to taste like this. It has to do something important, and this is, just Duckhorn Chardonnay. I mean, I'm not surprised by how average it is. I shouldn't say that, because 90 points is not average. 89 plus is not average, but
the year matters too. I wonder what the 19 is too.
Well, who knows?
Right.
I'll never know, because I'm not going to buy another bottle of Duckhorn Chardonnay anytime soon. But yeah, that's kind of the situation that we're at. Okay, so I guess that's it. I guess that's it for our episode. We're gonna go a little short today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. Don't forget to answer the question that I asked you earlier on. And if you don't remember it, roll it back and watch it again. I mean, what else do you have to do? I know I have nothing better to do. So I am George, Wine by the Bay TV, and we'll see you again next time.